welcome, welcome. I am excited to share 11 minutes at a time my continuation of me and Mr. Love story, um, which is not a love story. It's a story about me and Mr. Love, but it's not a love story, which is the beauty of it. Feeling silly today because it's Friday, and I'm really annoyed because companies need to realize that freelancers are employees too. All right. And I don't care if you're 1099 or contract or W-2 or all of that. You just need to pay me on time. Alrighty. Cheers to you and yours. Yesterday I did a video about my friend Pete and RIP on his commemorating his birthday, and I do feel really energized. I gotta tell you, it moves me to be like, you know what? Screw this. I'm not dealing with nonsense anymore. And I was already in that period anyway, but his death has furthered my resolve, let's just say. So thank you, Pete, and thank you to those who were listening, watching, and commented. Especially those who love and know Pete too. That won't make any sense when I put this up onto my other channels and such, but however, that's okay. I'm not supposed to always make sense, okay? All right, so last we left off, I'm excited. It's been a little while. I was gone, and I meant to do some of these kind of once a week, but then I went on vacation, and I decided to just take a break, man. Woo, what a concept, right? And so, yeah, all is well. It's good. I mean, I could tell you a lot of problems, let me tell you, but in general, I mean. Okay. 8 minutes and 42 seconds and counting. Last we left off, I met a wise man at the bar my very first night, Halloween of 2016, that even rhymes, in my new neighborhood. My new neighborhood that I live in currently, which is my dream neighborhood. I knew that this guy would be my wise man at the bar because I have experience of detecting them. Sure enough, so this was 2016. I'm just recapping. 2017, I became a regular there. We became buds. 2018, kinda were a little estranged because I became a victim of the Wolf of Mount Tabor, whom he didn't like, but so he was kind of keeping an eye on things. But sure enough, then he got kicked out of the bar. And let me tell you, when you kick out the wise men at the bar, the entire energy changes. Because guess what? This bar became, that's how it got its name, Dysfunction Junction, because of the dysfunction that happened to me. And I ran screaming from it, just like a month later after he was kicked out. The dysfunction reared its head. So, which was always bubbling underneath the surface, but I ran screaming from there, and then fast forward to January 2019, stay with me here, and this is where I left off in the last story, is I was walking a dog, which became a foster dog for me. A dog appeared in my life right when I needed it. It was the worst time in my life. Coincidentally, it happened to be Mr. Love's birthday, and I didn't know this. I didn't know where he was or anything. We hadn't seen each other in a couple of months, and sure enough, because I was walking this dog, I happened upon where his truck was parked, which was like 2 blocks from the bar. And that's when we started up Tailgate Therapy. We reconnected, and it was this, so this was in 2019. It was the worst year of my life. He helped me in 3 different regards. He really didn't like the Wolf of Mount Tabor. The Wolf of Mount Tabor and Mr. Love were not fans of each other, and they had known each other for years and years before I even knew them. So he was able to provide specific, after I was traumatized by being a victim of him, I was so confused and discombobulated. He was very helpful for that. I could come up to him at any time because he literally was always in his truck. He would be like behind the steering wheel reading a newspaper or listening to the radio, and I'd run up, whether I was so excited about something or so upset about something. He'd be like, "I'm always here for you." And I'd just bring him some beer, and we'd chat. We'd dangle our legs down on the tailgate, and we called it Tailgate Therapy. So he was super, and I'm laughing now. It was awful at the time, what I was going through. But he was super pivotal. Not only with that, but then another aspect is at the very same time. That's when I started open mic, and it was in our neighborhood, and it involved people that he knew. He knows the founder of my open mic. Her dad is his friend, and so there was some neighborhood connection. So he was super excited for me that I was starting to do some storytelling, open mics, and also I was going after some NPR story slams, and I would use him I would come up, all right, I got a story, and I would practice it, and I felt like we were in the movie 8 Mile by Eminem, because there was a scene where Eminem is behind the wheel, and his buddy, his compadre, who was like helping him out, his cheerleader, was behind the hood of the car, and they're rapping together and practicing. I felt like that because here Mr. Love was in the driver's seat of his truck, and I'd come up, and I'd be in the street, and I'd be like practicing my story, and he'd be looking straight ahead, and he'd be like, okay, right there, you need to back up, slow down. I want to hear more about this. He actually guided me, even though he always was, because I'm a writer, people think, oh my God, I have to have correct spelling at all times or whatever. Not that he and I texted, but just in general, he just felt like, when I would ask him to be my reader or something, I said, it doesn't mean like actually reading. He read all the time, and actually, he knows the story, so he was an audience, and he would help me though, and he was super excited about what I was doing. At the same time, so I was in this total heartbreak and confusion after post-victimization of a narcissist, for A. For B, I was going after some exciting things, and he was super helpful with that. But then, so those were the two main tailgate therapy aspects. But then also we were just buds, I loved hearing about the neighborhood, and because we were in a different area, we weren't attached to the bar anymore. We brought the bar to us. I would sit. Sometimes we even graduated me to a chair, because he would find, how much time do I have? I only have 3 minutes. He found a chair one time, like a desk chair, just randomly in the neighborhood, and he put it in his bag. He had a chair for me at all times. So when I graduated to the chair, I'd run up to him. I'm gonna go get beer. You're gonna die. I got a story for you. He's like, I'll get your chair, Before I graduated to a chair, I was there were 2 tires with a piece of plywood on top, and that was my seat until we found my chair. And then he actually upgraded my chair. He had 2 chairs, and then at one point he had a desk wheeled up, and we were joking around like, we should do a barbecue out here. People would stop by, like people who we knew from the bar. Most of them just gave up on him, which I thought was really telling about people. Man, there were only a few. That's how I met some of his buddies, his true buddies, who still came around and hung out with Mark, and or Mr. Love, I should say. His name's Mark, and it's not a secret, but he would talk about the neighborhood. He grew up there, and we got to know the neighbors, the people walking by, like walking by with a dog. People would hang out, and then. So this was in 2019. He really helped me through the worst year of my life, right? And I love just talking to him about memories of him growing up as a child in the neighborhood, because this neighborhood is very reminiscent of a small town, which is what I grew up in, and we have same principles about, he's exactly 10 years older than me, so we had some similarities of our backgrounds, as far as he may have been growing up in the 70s while I was growing up in the 80s or 60s, 70s, whatever, but there was a lot of similarities in, like, kids playing outside, and we didn't like it when people would speed by, like, slow down. We were both like, and just hearing about his stories coaching baseball, and things of that sort. He at one point he was like, you're my best friend. And then we all know what happened I'm running out of time. We all know what happened in 2020 when the lockdown, well, not just the lockdown, but the pandemic. Little did we realize what was in store for us there, and how our already established tailgate therapy would turn into the party because everyone was in lockdown. And so I will leave you with that. About next time, tell you about our lockdown crew. And so now we're up to March of 2020. So stay tuned. And yes, I love when timing works out. Man, my mom was like, oh, wow, 11 minutes. That sounds like a lot. I'm like, no, I have to cut myself off. Like an open mic, Tom, our fearless leader, he always said, his opening thing is, we share our art and our stories and our music 7 minutes at a time. And so that's what I'm doing, 11 minutes at a time, because I just need a little bit more time. And with that, I shall leave you as I squint. I can't find my reading glasses, so this is not vanity that I don't wear my glasses. I have reading glasses, but I don't need to really see myself, so I can't find them right now. So therefore, I shall leave you with that fascinating note. And thanks so much for listening and paying attention and just supporting, because this is really exciting where I'm going with this. It's been like a 4-year Bodega Lady journey here, and now there's been a lot that's been going on behind the scenes, and I'm coming out with this, and I'm really excited for everybody who is supportive, because we're all in this together, man. I couldn't do it without you. Okay, I can't even tell where I'm looking right now. All right. With that zany note, I'll leave you be, and stay tuned for the lockdown crew. All right, bye.